Recording? How do we know? Here we go. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Good. All right. All right. Did you know these were like the first ones that came out? Hmm?
Yeah, because you told me.
Yeah. These you don't know nothing about these.
Did
No.
you guys know that my daddy was born in the 1980s and he's still alive? He's
Damn,
40 years
I'm not a
old.
dinosaur. Yeah. So these were the first phones that came out. One of the first phones. Actually, no, it was like the second one. The very first one, it was like this, but they were like way thicker like that. And you could only make like two calls because your battery would die. These phones used to work in analog. Now they're digital and 4G and stuff like that. Yeah. You like carrying these around, huh? Check it out. For him and for her.
Imagine me walking up to school with that. Hey guys, how do you like my new phone?
You can't hide this. You can't hide this in your backpack. And I don't even think they used to vibrate. They just like ding, 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 ding. Yeah, so estos fueron los primeros teléfonos que salieron. Creo que cuando estaba allá en Los Ángeles teníamos estos, pero eran piratones. Porque estos salían bien caros. They were like really expensive. Like only businessmen had them. Like for like in the businessmen, like in downtown LA, used to be like 1,000 and 1,200 a month, just for like I think it was like 250 minutes for a whole month to call in or out. So I think we the way we used to get them, uh, I never had one. You okay?
Yeah, I hit myself.
Yeah, I never had one. But yeah, like I guess what they used to do is like, let's say this person used to work in, let's say, Bank of America or Arco, some big corporation, and they assigned a cell phone to this guy with his phone number. And the way they used to do it, they used to buy another phone out on the streets, right? This was like corporate, this is out on the streets. And what they used to do, somehow, some way, they got the list of all the cell phone numbers, all the cell phones that were out at the time. And what they did is they used to grab this cell phone's phone number. They used to grab it from the list, and what they used to do is they used to clone the number. So they had like six phones attached to that same line. But this person wouldn't know it. So the way they used to do it, you could only call out. You could receive phone calls, but if you received them, those phone calls were not for you. They were actually for this guy. So that's how they used to find out. In the beginning, you used to take your phone call because you used to give out your phone number out on the streets, not knowing what they were doing. They were taking this person's line at the time. So each time they call, you answer like, "Hey, Gole, what's up, homie?" or whatever, and they were actually calling for him. Like, "Hi, excuse me, is Billy there from Arco?" And you're like, "What the fuck? You got the wrong number, man." So then this guy would call like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I called you, and some gangsters or some paisas answered you, man. They had like you were having a party, like no. So that's how they started. They changed the phone number, and then once they changed the phone number, they used to guarantee your phone for a whole month. But if you used to answer phone calls and stuff like that, these guys will flag it. They'll kind of find out, so they'll change the phone number, and then you were out. So yeah, true story, man.
Give my daddy a moment.
Yeah, time out. I got a text now from the 5G now.
And he wants to sell a car, and I keep saying no, no,
Yeah, this is what we
no.
have nowadays. Like these are like the new era, like real thin compared to these. But we'll get to that. Yeah, these do way a lot more. You can send text, applications, internet, online. You got more stuff going on in this. This you could only call. And yeah, I mean, this was the thing. But before these, let's put these aside.
Okay, show them my phone.
See what?
And I'll just show them how tiny it is. Compared to your phone, show them how tiny it is.
Hold on, I haven't got to that yet. I got one right here. Alright, my daughter wants me to show her her phone. Look how thin. Compared to these bad boys right here.
In the picture in the front is my doggy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so small.
Yeah. But before these cell phones came along, there was payphones. There was payphones, right? Sorry. Okay. So before that, we had beepers. I don't know if you guys know. Probably youngsters don't know what beepers are, but there's some. These are like the more advanced kind. They're made by Motorola, and these were like a little bit more like you could send text. You had a little keyboard, and you could actually make phone calls too. There's a little headphone jack right here, and you put them on, and that's the only way you can make phone calls. But yeah, they were made by Motorola. All the beepers were made by Motorola, and the way it used to work is, you used to stop at a phone or from your house or whatever. You used to call your friend or whoever you had to call. You dial the number, and you call. And when you call, you used to get an operator. And you're like, "Hi, this is Page Plus. How may I help you today?" And you're like, "Well, do you want to leave a phone number or do you want to leave a voice message?" Because first you could only leave a phone number. So you used to call, and then it says, "When prompt, please dial the phone call that you're calling from." So you used to put your phone number where you want this person to call you back at. So it was a hassle. So then you used to send a text. You're driving somewhere in downtown LA. Kind of crazy over there. I know you guys know I've been over there or not. So, I mean, if you're on the streets, you had to look for a payphone. And usually payphones were at gas stations and dark places, somewhere in the cuts. And yeah, it was kind of dangerous. So I used to like, yeah, there's a payphone, but I'm not going to stop there. You got to keep going to wherever there's lights or whatever, especially if you have your family with you. So then, yeah, you open it, and they'll say the phone number. So it'll say like 213-744-5544. So then you look for payphone, you get off, put a quarter or whatever, and then you call back that number. You're like, "Hey, I'm just returning a call. Who's this?" Or Page. "Oh, hey man, I just want to call you. What are you gonna do tonight?" Like, "Really, bro? I don't know. I'll hit you up later." I was like, "All right." Yeah. So then after that, they came out one with, you get a numeric page, and you had an option of storing that number. Now, instead of getting the phone number, you'll get that person's name, like if it was your friend or whatever in your contacts. Or got a little bit more high tech. Right here on the display, instead of getting the phone number, you'll get a message saying like, "Hey, party at Joe's at 8 o'clock." So you don't have to call back the number. You already got the message. And like, "Oh, hell yeah, you don't got to stop nowhere or call back just to see what they wanted." Yeah, but this is how these were. The first ones came out, they were like this, but they had a little display right here. I have one somewhere. I'll go get it. But yeah, beepers, man. This was started everything. And then this came out. And then after those, the flip phone came out. 550s. The start tags were a little bit smaller, thinner. Like elegant phones, you know. They had this big antenna right here. Check it out. Motorola. I was on top of the game, man. Yeah, well, they're pretty cool, huh? Brings me back memories. El battery. La batería que tenían. Entonces me trae memoria de Los Ángeles. El que teníamos nosotros de estos ahí en Los Ángeles, pero eran piratones. Les digo que lo que hacían que tenían los edificios, las compañías grandes ahí en Los Ángeles, como las corporaciones tenían su propio teléfono. Y lo que hacían los homies ahí, ellos compraban teléfonos usados, pero sin línea. Y lo que hacían que habían encontrado la lista de todos los teléfonos que había ahí en Los Ángeles o de gente que tenía números de celular. Y lo que hacían, se le colgaban el número este. Conectaban como 3, 4 teléfonos a esta misma línea. Y digo, nomás podías llamar para afuera porque si contestabas las llamadas que te entraban, usualmente eran las llamadas que eras para este negociante de veras. Y pues tú contestabas, ¿qué hubo? ¿Qué onda? Y este dice, oh, está Bob. I'm looking for Bob. Todo acá bien borregos. Y pues así es como se empezaron a dar cuenta. ¡Ay, güey! What the fuck you doing, Lily? Fuck, man. Sorry about that. Eso es lo que hacían, que se colgaban y pues se robaban la línea y pues uno no sabía porque te decían 50, $80 por todo el mes. Y si se desconectaba te lo garantizaban, te venían por él y se lo llevaban y al siguiente día te lo traían ya activado con otro número. Pues tú pagabas primero $180 por el mes y eran limitado. Cuando usualmente nomás te daban 250 minutos por mes y salía como 1200, 250 minutos. Eso pues a nosotros nos chingón, pues $80 por todo el mes ilimitado. Y así estaba, así aguantaba todo el mes, pero después se iban dando más cuenta y pues los activaban y hallaban cualquier cosa sospechoso y ya se desconectaban como 3, 4 días y pues ya no empezó a costear. Y decían, nah, ya mejor no. Ya, pero estos eran de los first phones, man. Yeah, me trae memorias, memories. Alright, let's move on forward. It's my little stories. Remember the cops used to come? We used to throw them because we weren't supposed to. We couldn't afford cell phones, so they knew they were hot phones. And if you get caught with one of these, you do a lot of time back in the days. So yeah, the cops were coming. We fucking throw the big ass brick, until it hit against the wall. Fucking, you would find it in pieces like this, but we wouldn't get caught with them. Yo nunca tuve uno. I never had one. Pues lo primero que salieron fueron los beepers. Estos beepers digo que eran lo más perrón antes. Pero hay que seguir con la... Ok. So we're moving on. Luego ya después de esos ya empezaron a salir estos monstruos que están por ahí. No sé si se acuerdan de, you guys remember the Nextels. These were badass too, man. These were like my favorite phones. They're also made by Motorola. Yeah. They're Nextels, man. These phones right here, they were these had internet already, but they were 2G analog radios too. They were not digital yet. They were analog. So usually like special, people that were training special weapons, tactics and stuff like that, like SWAT teams, like police department, but like only like high rank people, like trained people used to have these in the law enforcement. And of course we had them too in the neighborhood, you know, the homies. The reason we had them was because they had you could make phone calls, but they had a push to talk. They were like walkie talkies. So if your friend or whoever had another one like this, you could call across the world, like connect. Like you just push the button and instantly they'll get it around the world wherever they were at. And that was like unlimited. You only had to pay for your minutes, but when you had a radio, you didn't want to use your minutes because you had free unlimited radio. And yeah, these are awesome, man. Like, but they sold them. They got rid of them here in the United States. They sold Nextel. They belonged to Sprint back in the day, and yeah, they had to get rid of it because a lot of like organized crime was had these phones and they couldn't catch them. And the reason they couldn't catch who was using them or who used to talk, because when everybody used the radio on these, when you were doing some activity or anything you wanted private, because they were private direct connect, you could call from one, you could call eight groups, 8 people in the same group, and all get the same message, or you could call individual from here to here, that's it, or you could connect like a group, and it was private because each time you used to push the button, it'll be like, and once you push it, if you, let's say you send a message from like, hey, what are you up to? I'll meet you around the corner in 2 minutes. Don't be late, or else you're gonna mess everything up. Well, you're holding that button in that period of time. Let's say it took you 10 seconds to deliver, to say what you were gonna say in that message, and you let go. Well, every 2 seconds or every second, the frequency used to change. So if they were tapping into your phone, they'll get a little bit of the beginning of the conversation, and then it switches frequency. So then they had to go on the radios when they're tracing you. They had to go and change the station to try to get the other part, and they'll never get it because each 2 seconds they'll change, so they could never catch what you were saying. So yeah, they got rid of these. They sold the company. Sprint had to sell it, and they sold it to Mexico. So Mexico has these Nextel service too. They still have them right now. So all we did was just go to Mexico and activate the phones and come back because they used to work over here. So yeah, but yeah, they kind of died out because a lot of people didn't know about them. But the people that did know, they were pretty cool, man. Like, I don't know, they were just cool at the time. I miss them. I still have these, and I got some other ones that they're still active, and they work 2 miles, even though without being activated to the current line, they work 2 mile range private. Know that. If you have some of these, you want to get rid of them, let me know. I'll buy them. After that, all right, we're moving on. These right here, they're made by Motorola too. And they're Nextels. They started upgrading. These were they had internet more, and they still worked in 2 and 3G. They started becoming 2 and 3G, and they had to push to talk right here, the function. And they were BlackBerry, so BlackBerry came out with this design, and they were waterproof. That's why they had the little, everything that was yellow back in the days, it meant that it was water resistant. So it has a little trackball. Yeah. Pretty fat compared to, because Verizon had the other ones, and Sprint. These were from Sprint or Verizon, sorry. But you see how slick the keyboard is and everything. Usually all the businessmen, suit people had these. Compared to the Nextels, these were more like for construction worker people. Like, they bought them a lot out in the construction zones. Yeah, but only like the engineers, the bosses had these. The other people had this kind because they were rugged. But yeah, only business people had these. If you had one of these, you were the shit. Yeah. Pretty cool phones. These you could go into email. See, these don't have the trackball anymore. It's on there, but it's not a ball anymore. It's just like a little pad, a little mouse. And I remember there was like a little mouse pointing wherever you went. Pretty cool phones. These were top of the line back then. Nextel. Love them. Cool little holster. Very next. Yo, we got T-Mobile came out with the smaller version of the BlackBerry. They cut it in half, kind of practically. See that? Yeah. So it's the same thing, but they just made it smaller and pink. I don't know. The girls bought these a lot. They came in red, pink, and blue. BlackBerry. These were like a lot because a lot of business people use them because they had email accounts. Email started coming out. Then after those, we got. Started getting these. These came out from Sprint. And I remember these, the Palm Pilots. They were touchscreen, but you couldn't touch it with your finger. They're starting to be touchscreen, but these had like a little stylus. They had a little stylus right here. See that? Pull it, and when you pull it out, this is how you used to operate it. And then you're all like fancy, and you have the little trackball, and then make your phone calls. So it was right here. They were getting smaller though, that's for sure. Not smarter, but smaller. First it was a big thing, it was having them big, and then it became a thing, the smaller the better. This was another one. This one has a trackball too there, you see it? And this one was already touchscreen. You didn't need a stylus with this one. Pretty cool. There's little buttons right here. That's when they were becoming touchscreens. And then after those, we got these bad boys right here. These were already touchscreen and they were powered by Android. Some Android started coming out. So you had these and they're touchscreens. See that? And LG 5.0 megapixels. See that? But check this out. The one these stand out because you can use the touchscreen and you have a keyboard. See that? In the middle you had another screen. So you had two screens. Pretty cool. So you could be texting. What's up, man? And you can stand, play a game. This is by T-Mobile. That's when T-Mobile started coming out. T-Mobile were known for slider phones. There's another one. This one's by Motorola. And this is a Verizon phone. Yeah. Pretty slick. Five megapixels. Slider phones. They were like, what's up? Pretty cool. You get a text and I don't know, everybody wanted to slide it. They kind of look like the beepers, huh? Check it out. Motorola. Well, these were touchscreens like that. Now with these, you could text, look at your email, make phone calls, all in one. I like this. Pretty cool. Then when this bad boy came out, I remember Puff Daddy. He started bringing it out a lot. Like he made this one famous. P Diddy, Puff Daddy. I don't know if you guys remember him. The reason with these is like, you have the phone like this, right? You can use it like your regular phone, like make your phone calls. Your screen right here, and then it had this little thing. You flip it. You like you slide it out and see like that. Slider phone again. That's how you do it. Bam. I don't know. You get a text over there and you look at it. What's that? That's what it is. They're called Sidekick. Again, you see how this one just slides up? The second one came out in this slide, but it flips like. After that, we started getting into Windows phones. Windows came out, so we had Android, BlackBerry, and this started coming out. Windows phones. Windows started coming out with tiles, kind of like the computers nowadays. So nobody was used to that, and they're pretty good phones. They're pretty fast and everything, but it's just the thing that they fell behind because they didn't have a lot of software engineers working on applications for Windows phones. Nobody was really buying it. They weren't. The reason they didn't buy them, I mean, the phone was pretty good, but the reason they didn't buy them was because there was not enough apps. Like if you had to go to Facebook, you had to go online. You didn't have an app, or you need to get your banking account and stuff like that. They don't have a lot of the apps till now. They still don't have them. But the phones are really good. They're fast. Cameras are awesome. They're pretty light phones, and what makes them cool is like the computers now. You know, little tiles. Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Windows. They started making Windows nowadays. Now they made Windows phones, but with Android operating system. So those sold a lot because now you have your apps. And the phones are, like I said, their phones are pretty good, but it's just no apps. All right. Let's not forget about these, man. You remember these bad boys? Flip phones. They were more like at 7-Eleven and stuff like that, like little disposable phones. But I mean, they had them at the AT&Ts and Sprint companies too. But I mean, it's were like I had one of these. I had it in a contract, and I mean, it worked. It worked pretty good. Just to call, you know. Never failed. You guys remember these hotspots? These were when you were traveling or you were a businessman or whatever. You were always traveling out of your house. You were on the run, mobile. You used to buy one of these because you had your little laptop, and no internet. Everywhere you went, there was no hotspot like nowadays, you know. So you used to buy one of these, and you charge it, you turn it on, it starts turning on, and you program it, and they'll program it to Sprint wireless or Sprint Wi-Fi. So you already configure, you put in your password, and this was your personal hotspot. You know, you could connect up to 2 devices, I think, at the time. And remember, they made it to they made them to 3 devices. That was tops, 3 or 5.